I don't know much about the Ahmadiyya movement, but all I know is that the belief is that there can be subsequent prophets who will reiterate the prophet, the message of the prophet.
Yes.
Now, with every prophet, new prophet, do you think there would be a schism in the Islamic religion, that there will be people who will accept the prophet and will not accept the prophet? So the total number of subsects that will develop by this philosophy will be twice the number of people who claim to be prophets. And I say it with complete respect.
I understand the problem.
Right.
The fact is, the prophet, subordinate prophet, cannot come in Islam until Islam is already split up. And this has been mentioned in the Holy Quran, in the Ahadith of Rasulullah, that the reformer, whatever you call him, we refer to him as a subordinate prophet. The others do not refer to him as subordinate prophet openly. And I can explain the word openly why I said that. But when I explain, you will agree with me, I hope, that they also believe in the same things. The issue is, the debate is about the point, if somebody appears in Islam as described by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah as prophesied by him, what would be the purpose of his coming? Would he come to a united ummah and divide it by creating a schism? Or would he come to remove the schisms and to create a platform with a promise that this platform will gain ground and ultimately they will be brought under one united flag of the ummah? They are two different things. Ahmad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, before predicting that Jesus or Imam Mahdi would appear again, always said in clearest terms that this ummah will get divided on the pattern of the Jews before us. It would follow that pattern to the degree that earlier the Jews were divided into 72 sects, so also this ummah will get divided into 72 sects. The common character of the Muslims in general has also been described with reference to this period of decay and deterioration. He said, سَيَّاتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٌ لَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا إِسْمُهُ وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ إِلَّا رَسْمُهُ. An unfortunate time is about to come, not about, but will come one day, when Islam will be left only in name and the Quran will be left only for scribing, for writing. Now the impression created by that is that perhaps people will cease to go to the mosque, but not so. The next the observation made by Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is this: Masajiduhum amiratun wa hiya kharabun min al-huda. Their mosques will be well attended. Mosques will be full, but empty of guidance. And then he goes on to remove a misunderstanding regarding the religious leadership. If there is a genuine, healthy, honest leadership, why should this have happened to the Muslim Ummah? So he goes on developing the thing further by saying, Ulama'uhum sharru man tahta adimi sama. Their leaders, ulama. And here he doesn't refer them to himself. He said, Ulama'uhum, the ulama or the scholars or religious leaders of that age, that people, would be the worst thing under the firmament of heaven. The most, shar is mischief. So shar also is used as noun in Arabic. Here it is used as a noun. When somebody becomes a personification of mischief, then he is called shar. So here in this context it means they would be the worst personification of mischief under the firmament of heaven. When this has happened, only then Imam Mahdi can come, only then Jesus can descend from wherever he is to descend in whatever manner. So the question is absolutely invalid. Would he come to divide the Ummah? Would he come to create another sect? Of course not. He would come, like all prophets of Allah come, to provide an opportunity of reunification in common cause of goodness and truth. And that phenomenon is mentioned in the Holy Quran as a phenomenon which goes on gaining ground. Once it is started, it goes on increasing its own ground and decreasing the ground around, with the result that this is the true unity which is created, while people, once they are divided, can never be united. It's impossible. Except for anybody coming in God's name, who is hated, who is rejected, all efforts are made to destroy him and his message, yet he grows from strength to strength, from weakness to strength and strength to strength. So the Holy Quran says, referring to this fight for gaining ground in the name of God, the Holy Prophet is told by Allah to address the non-believers that you are, of course, in majority. You're much larger in number, but أَفَلَا يَرَوْنَ أَنَّا نَأْتِي الْأَرْضَ نَنْقُصُهَا مِنْ أَطْرَافِهَا أَفَهُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ. But do not they see? Why don't they see that during every encounter, the ultimate result is that our ground expands and their ground decreases? However small the process be, if this is certain, that a message which is delivered continues to gain ground, and all the efforts to suppress and destroy that message are frustrated, then the outcome will be the same. That which is growing is bound to emerge dominant and predominant. So this is the case. It is not a case of creating a new spirit. It is a case of divine prescription for such ills. But there is a lot yet to be discussed, of course, whether it is happening in case of Ahmadiyya and how it is happening. Now I will return to the second part raised about the subordinate prophet. That was also included in your question. This task has never been done by human efforts. Can never be done. Logically, it's impossible to have been achieved by human efforts alone. Because the process of split and diversification is a result not only of misunderstanding, but a result of human corruption, ego, desire to appear larger and bigger alim in the world, and so on and so forth. So it becomes a sort of territorial war between the leadership, religious leadership, which goes after number, not after the quality. And as such, it can be easily recognized. Once it happens, the cause of split lies in the inner deterioration of morality and loyalty to the values. So the name of religion would not avail you in any way whatsoever. I can further explain this with reference to the present day. Now you have seen, you have heard the Muslim schisms fighting against each other. Muslim religious leaders haranguing the Muslim common people to kill others, to destroy their mosques. They're all filthy, uncouth things, and Islam would like you to do that. This is not a news to anybody today. But have you ever heard the Muslim ulama joining hands, despite their differences, in eradicating the evils which are eating up the Muslim society? Where have they done it? If they had any regard for Islam, then they should have gone all out to rehabilitate the lost values of Islam: truth, honesty, respect for authority, kindness to the poor and the people, sacrifice for the sake of the unfortunate sections of the society, to stop usurpation of the other people's rights, to stop amassing money at the cost of the whole nation, to stop telling lies and behaving corruptly. These are the anti-Islamic characters which have eaten up the very sources of Muslim energy. Show me one country where you can demonstrate the fight of the Muslim ulama joining hands in these things. This is the type of jihad which I refer to. Islam expects you to join hands in goodness, even with Christians and Jews. Here they are Muslims. They cannot muster their forces unitedly to fight against those sins and crimes which, once they have spread in the society, leave nothing of Islam. How can you believe in the belief in unity of God while continuing to split those who belong to oneness of God? How can you believe in the truth of Allah while being completely callous to the disease of falsehood and lies which is spreading and overtaking the whole of your society? So this is for what the messenger was to be raised. He had to be from God. And in this much we are united. There is no disagreement. The disagreement is only regarding the identity of that man. All the Muslim ulama believe with us that Imam Mahdi would be appointed by God. He would neither be elected by a people nor appointed by a government. He would be elected, selected by God. Anyone who is made a religious leader directly by God, what other name can you give than a prophet? I don't find any. It's impossible to pick a man for God and to make your imam and to oblige you to accept him and follow him. If this is not prophethood, what else is, I don't know. So they believe in prophethood without accepting, without having the courage of saying it in so many words. So if that is not prophethood, then Hazrat Mirza Sahib is not a prophet, according to their terms, if it is different from ours. This is our understanding of subordinate prophet, a leader in Islam who would be created by God himself, who would be absolutely subordinate to the teachings of the Holy Quran and the word of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He is referred to as Imam Mahdi, and we understand this office to be the office of a subordinate prophet. They disagree, let them. But they cannot say that we have violated the message of Khatm al-Nubuwwat. We certainly have not. They have. At the same, with regards to the same debate, the second personage which they are expecting to appear is that of Jesus Christ. And with reference to Jesus Christ, you can ask any alim in the world, they are all united that he would be a prophet of God. A prophet of God after the Khatam al-Nabiyyin has appeared? He said yes. But there is a problem. God had decided not to send any prophet after Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But the genuine problem God faced was that there was to be need for a prophet. A prophet was required to reform Islam, not Islam but the Muslims, and to fight against other religions on behalf of Islam. So how could God resolve this problem? He had stopped sending prophets, yet the need for the prophet was accepted by God. So according to the mullah's concept of God's thinking, God had forestalled that problem by keeping one prophet alive in heaven. And that, they say, was Jesus Christ. For 2000 years, imagine, they believe he is awaiting his return to this earth because a prophet is needed and a prophet cannot be made So an old prophet is awaiting his return for the last 2,000 years in a solitary. Somewhere there is no other prophet, no other man to share the planet with him. And why this nuisance? Why to torture Jesus Christ unnecessarily, to live so long? And why not send him at all? They say because God has committed himself not to send a prophet, and God has accepted the fact that there'll be need for prophets. Okay, when he comes, what would be the nature of his prophethood? Will he be a prophet of Israelites, or will he be enhanced to the position of a universal prophet under Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? If he remains to be that prophet who is referred to in the Holy Quran as Rasulan ila Bani Israel, then you and I or anybody else can go up to him and say, Jesus Christ, we respect you, God bless you, but you have no authority, no sanction from God to work in the Ummah of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because the Holy Quran is telling us you were sent only for the Israelites. We are not Israelites. This is not a limited message, it's a universal message. So please do whatever you like, stay here as a good guest, but no more. What could be the answer of Jesus Christ? Unless he tells you that his prophethood has been enhanced to a degree that it matches the domain of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So if this is not new prophethood, what else is? So the purpose is not served anyway. God had to do this, to indulge in this exercise absolutely without a purpose, without an object gained, because according to the mullah's arguments, new prophet could not come, so an old prophet was to be brought, but he had to be given a new prophethood, a new scope, which was never shared before him by any prophet other than Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So emerges as a new prophet of the greatest magnitude if their word is to be taken genuinely. So this is the debate of all the debate about. Thank you.
But there can be many prophets afterwards.
No, the question will not be decided by us.
Right.
The question will be decided by the Holy Quran and by Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, because we believe in his age to be the age till the doomsday. So it is impossible for anyone to claim prophethood without showing his authority, his certificate from the Quran and the words of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So with that condition, any number of prophets come, if they are within Islam, if they are to serve the cause of goodness, if they are to promote unification of Muslims at any age, if they are sent by God within the framework of Islam and the framework of Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what objection you can have? The only right you have to ask such a prophet is, show us your proof, give us your evidence. Where were you mentioned in the Holy Quran? In principle or in person? Where were you mentioned by Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? So if he provides his certificates, that is Khatabun Nabiyyin, this certification. If Hazrat Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam certifies him to be a genuine prophet, what is the harm in number? Already we believe in 124,000 prophets, don't we?
Before him, yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.